my side. Yes, it is. Hey! She's allergic to my humor, y'all. Hi, welcome back to another edition of Cookin' Chris's Dishes with the good old boy. That's me, where we're cooking up dishes straight from recipes that Crock.com and goodnessgracious.com, which are my beautiful wife's cooking blogs. And today we have a battle winner. The battle for battle soup has ended, and overwhelmingly, easy potato soup has won. And this is an easy, cheesy tater soup that is really good, and my wife calls it
Crock pot potato soup.
She says it's like...
Oh, Thanksgiving in a bowl.
It's almost like we didn't talk about this beforehand.
You threw me off because you called it easy potato soup, and we may have an easy potato soup.
Yes, we have a few different potato soups on the blog. There's a baked potato soup.
This was just called crock pot potato soup.
Yes, and we will definitely put a link below to which one this is, and by far this is the best one. We took this to a Christmas party one year. Everybody raved about it. It's a lot similar to the potato soup like you would get, the loaded potato soup you would get from O'Charlie's, only better, so much better.
Not as cheesy.
Not nearly as cheesy,
No.
so nothing like me, but very good. It's delicious. It's creamy. It's tatery, and of course you put some scallions and some onion, or some scallions and some bacon, and maybe a little extra cheese on top at the end. Make it even better. But here is what you need. You're going to need, well, some taters. We're going to use 6 medium russets. I'm not peeling mine because we like peel with our potatoes. We're just that way. Call us lazy. I don't care. It's not because we're lazy. It's because we like peel. So I've got them chopped up, and I'll show you a little cute trick here in a minute.
And we're lazy.
And we're lazy too. But I'll show you a trick with those in a minute. So 6 medium russet potatoes, quartered up, halved up, however you want to do it. I'm going to show you a really neat recipe, a neat technique that I figured out over my course of becoming a food blogger. And you also want 1 onion that has been minced up. You want 4 cups, 1 thing of chicken broth. Garlic to your taste. I'm going to use about 1.5 teaspoons of our Penzeys dried garlic. If you want to use 1 to 2 cloves of garlic that's been minced up, you can. We're going to use fresh thyme, and I recommend fresh thyme mainly because it just smells really good. If you want to use dried thyme, you can. We've got some fresh thyme here that we're going to use. 1 teaspoon of that. 2 tablespoons of flour. 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And then at the end, we're going to use 3 scallions, about 8 slices of, I'm using some thick cut, already cooked bacon. Again, I'm lazy, so I'll happily buy the bacon that's already been cooked for me. Less popping, and I'm good at getting the bacon grease on me. And then also you want to use 2 cups of cheddar cheese. We're going to use a 4-state cheddar, plus some at the end if you want to use the sprinkle on as a garnish. Garlish. I'm making up new words as I go. So first things first, we're using our Cuisinart slow cooker, and this has already got, this has the non-stick surface, so I can fry what I need to in here, saute what I need to in here. So, and it keeps you from seeing my rear end while I use a skillet on the stove. I want to put in about 2 tablespoons, right about there, of olive oil. Let me grab my knife. Use the back end of my knife over the cutting board. And you want to saute your onions up along with your garlic. Here's a teaspoon. 1, I'll do about 1/2, maybe 3/4. Again, we dig the garlic, so again, all this is just personal taste. And then thyme. I believe I'm right with 1 teaspoon of this.
So
and
1.5 teaspoons of fresh, 1.5 dried.
And since I'm using fresh, I really don't know what I'm doing because I haven't done this much.
That's all right.
But I'm going to take some sprigs, just a handful of sprigs, and I'm going to pull the leaves off of the stems because the stems are kind of chewy. I don't think you're supposed to use the stems. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments down below. If I'm right, I know. Someone's getting cocky in the kitchen. Like the bigger stems, I don't think the little bitty stems are going to be all that bad if you get some of that in there. But I don't necessarily think you want the big things in your soup. I don't think they're going to break down too well. But get me just a little bit more. You got to go up the sprig to get them popped off like that. And I'll do these here, and that'll be good enough. Right there at the end. Alright. Like I said, some of these stems I'm not going to worry about. This should be fine because I'm going to mince it up even more. Just kind of get it in a little pile. And go through it. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Do it again. Come through there and do a really good mince, especially if you got any of them stems left in there. Chop it up real fine. And you know what? After doing all that, it kind of looks like I have about a teaspoon and a half.
There you go.
I'm getting better. Right in there we go. And let me grab a spoon. This will do. And what I want to do is get, one, all the flavors incorporated, and two, you want to soften up that onion until it gets that opaque color where it's a little more clear, not white. Let the garlic kind of soak up some of that oil. Let that thyme soak in there. If you could smell my kitchen right now, those flavors together are phenomenal. I'm going to let that go for just a little bit while I show you a cool trick, which is going to be in the next part of putting this together. You got your taters. Now I could take a tater, I could take a knife and cut it like this and cut and cut. I'm doing 6 taters. That's lots of taters. I could cut it like that. Maybe one more time there, get a little smaller chunks, because the smaller the chunks are, the quicker they're going to break down and soften up, which is what you're wanting with your taters.
If you're going to have skin, you want it small too, because the skin will come off, so you don't want big old, like,
you don't want big old
strings of skin.
Or I could take my potatoes, and I got some big potatoes, so I quartered them, or just cut them in fourths, long ways. Take an apple cutter, and your taters are done. I think we might have done this on another Cook of Chris's dishes, but since I came up with such a brilliant idea, I wanted to show you again. Just like that. And it will do all of your apples just like it would do, or all of your potatoes just like it would do apples. And it cuts them in perfectly even pieces, which you can then put in your slow cooker. And it saves you from doing all that cutting.
Well, and the even pieces also help it cook more evenly.
Yup. Just like that. I'm going to give these a stir while I'm finishing up my taters. Yep. Just like that. Some of the garlic and some of the onion starting to brown. That's fine. So now what I want to do is take my 2 tablespoons of flour and put it right in there. And that flour is going to help make a roux, which thickens up your soup. It gives it that base. And you know, we're all about that base. About that base. No trouble. Megan, if you're watching, girl. Hi.
Oh my goodness.
But all I want to do is kind of stir that up in there. Like that. So it's browning up. Let that flour cook up a little bit. And as I'm letting that flour cook up, and I want to keep an eye on that, I'll go back to my taters. Tater. We've had a big day today. Had church. It's Sunday, hence church. And then we did our church song Sundays. A lot of y'all joined in. We loved having you. Thanks for coming and stopping by and hanging out with us. Listen to me poorly sing some old songs.
Oh.
And Mama made a Mississippi chicken. I even sang a little Mississippi chicken song at the end for those who didn't catch it. And then we just kind of relaxed the rest of the afternoon. I made the other soup for this show. And we just kind of kick back, and then
if you call relax, you taped another show with Addie. And
I say, and then after some relaxing, my daughter comes down, and we'd also made a show for some dessert burritos, and then of course that was enough to make you a little tired. So we went in there, relaxed again, and then Addie comes down and she says, "Daddy, why don't you do yoga with me?" Here's as flexible as I am.
You're throwing potatoes.
Imagine this doing yoga. I'm sure there will be a video of it because Mom pulled out the camera. Alright, that's soaked up all the oil. So what I want to do now is take about a cup of this, and I'm not going to go using a measuring cup. I can kind of eyeball it because you're going to use it all anyway. But if you're using this in a skillet, this is mainly what it's for. What this is going to do is it's going to take those brown bits that form at the bottom of the skillet, and it's going to pull them off. You want to stir your flour, onion, garlic, and thyme mix in, and let it all kind of mix together. And that'll pull the brown bits off the bottom of your skillet, because those are good. You want to keep those in your soup. It gives it more flavor. And then I'm going to take the rest of my chicken broth. That's 4 cups.
Total.
Right into my pot. And I'll give that a quick stir. Right in there. You see that flour starting to break up a little bit. And it will thicken that up a little bit more over the course of about 4 hours. Let me chop this tater up. And then I've got a few more left, but I'm running out of room on my cutting board, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these in there. Hopefully I can do it without making a big splash. There's one. Casualty. Oh, they were good. It stayed on the counter. I meant to do that. I'll get the rest of these. Oh, there's water in there too. These I'm just going to hurry up and chop real quick because there are not too many left. As evenly as you can. Some of my chunks are going to be bigger than the others, but it's okay. This is going to cook up for either low for 4 to 6 hours or high for 3 to 4. And what you're looking to do is you want to break down your potatoes. You want to soften them up, because they're also going to be part of the base of the soup, not just the star of the show. So let me get this set over to the side. I will stir this up, and that's it. But Mikey, where's the cheese? Where's the bacon? Where's the scallions? Where's the cream? It's all over here. We'll get to that. Patience, people, patience. Put a lid on this, unplug it before I move it, and make sure I grab the correct handles. And when you get done, after high for 3 to 4 or low for 4 to 6, this cooked on high for about 4 hours. And I'll plug this back in and keep the heat going. You're going to come out with this. Whoop! A steamy camera. Sorry about that. You set this aside.
Michael.
And those potatoes, I can run a spatula through them. They're very, very soft. In fact, some of them are already broken down. You can see how that soup has gotten even thicker with your flour in there. Again, if you could only smell this house right now, it smells so good. So what I want to do is I want to break down those potatoes even more. Now, if I wasn't using a non-stick, I could use a potato smasher. If I wanted to, I could pour that out into a blender. But that's a lot of steps. I'm using my non-stick. This is why in one of our latest As Good As It Gets shows, we told you about the immersion blender.
Oh, you scared
Which will not
Mikey.
just break down potatoes, it will scare dogs. Yeah, he's running now.
Aww.
So I'm going to use the low setting on it, and I'm just going to go in there.
Oh, honey!
You put it in the pot first, in the pot. Then turn it on, and it won't do what it did. Sorry. I'll clean that up later. And I just want to break those potatoes down. Like this. Oh, yeah. Go in there and pop some of those potatoes. It goes. It goes. And you're going to want to do this to whatever your consistency is. If you want it completely broken down in a creamy soup, go at it, man. Just go at it until everything's all broken down. If you like chunks of potato, leave some.
You're going to leave some, right?
Evidently, I'm going to leave some. But look at, I'm going to go just a little bit longer and look how the potato. She didn't see that one. I'm getting that dirty look like I should stop it.
Michael!
And then this pops off. And it'll eventually make its way into my dishwasher. I've been chewing gum this whole time. That's rude. Sorry. Now, this is where I need to go and ask my wife because I don't have my phone with me. And this is my first time making it since 3 years ago. I think I want to use my heavy cream, I believe. Get some of these dishes out of the way.
Stir in the cheddar cheese first.
Stirring your cheddar cheese first. That's 2
so it'll melt.
cups so that it will melt. I'll just repeat what she's telling me. Not hard to do. And I need to, I'll put this on a medium right there. Again, if you don't have that setting, you can put it on low just to keep it hot.
It has a slow cooker medium?
Oh, it's a Ninja. Wow. It's got a low, high, and a medium slow cook. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm on stovetop.
Well, turn it off, stovetop.
I'm turning it off, stovetop. I'll put it on low.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put it on low. And I'm going to stir in that cheese. That's 2 cups, which is 1 normal bag of cheddar cheese. And let this all melt down. Shouldn't take very long at all because that stuff is hot. But you want to make sure and keep stirring it. Yeah, that's already melted down quite well.
Alright, so then you're just going to stir in your cream and let it stand. And while it's standing, you need to microwave your bacon to crisp it up.
Alright. Oh. So that cheese just added a whole new smell to the mix. And it's a good one. Oh my gosh, that smells so good.
You're also going to want salt and pepper to taste.
Yes, I'll do that at the end when I'm done mixing in my cream, which comes next. 1/2 cup heavy cream. Some people are probably going to ask, can you use milk or can you use something to lessen it up?
You can use milk if you want.
Lessen the fat in it?
Yep. And people often ask, is heavy cream and heavy whipping cream the same? At least in our store.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people ask that,
no,
but she said go get the heavy cream the other day, and all I could find was heavy whipping cream, and I kept looking and looking.
That's what people ask.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
Whippy cream. I should sell that. Whippy cream. It's the same thing.
You need to let it stand.
All right, you're supposed to stir it in though, right?
Yeah.
Until it all heats back up. Doing that right now. Just like that. And again, more good smells. I gotta taste this the way it is. Yeah, definitely need salt and pepper.
Okay, and your bacon needs to be done.
So I will take and pepper this. I like mine peppery. But Addie doesn't, so I'm just going to pepper on this side.
No.
And salt. A couple good pinches. Now your bacon, depending on how much bacon you put on top of yours, we'll give it some salt, and then of course you can salt yours at the end. Like if we're going to do this for a party, we'll probably we might salt and pepper a little, just for some flavor, but we'll leave it out, and then make sure there's salt and pepper handy, just in case anybody wants theirs like I do, which is very salty and very peppery. That's the way I grew up, was lots of salt and pepper. And now we're going to let that sit and stay warm. And all I'm going to do is grab some of our finest paper china. paper towels. And I'm gonna crisp up me some bacon. Now, this bacon has already been cooked. It makes life so much easier. Unboxing of bacon. What more could you ask for? I'll probably have to put that in a plastic bag now. Yeah, kind of. I like lots of bacon, so I'm just gonna do it all.
Just as well, since the bag got
tore up.
Yeah.
And I don't want to dirty a new bag. And I like bacon. So I'm just gonna toss that in the microwave underneath my splash guard, my splatter guard. You and your sister should both be so proud. 30 seconds. And as I'm cranking that up, I'm going to get a new cutting board. Oh, my back hurts from doing that yoga. And that knife, I'll go ahead and use the same knife I had. And I will chop up my washed scallions. And again, this is a garnish. If you don't like scallions, if you don't like onions, well, you put onions in, but I understand if you don't like scallions, leave them out. We kind of dig them.
I think your bacon might need another 30 seconds.
You think so? Let's look.
Because it said a minute on the thing.
Oh, did it? You're right. Our bacon needs another 30 seconds. Somebody should have paid attention better. I'm just going to do a rough chop through the scallions. This will add another texture when you're biting into your soup. Something to kind of crunch on. And bacon should be done right about now. Ah, so good. Ooh, that bacon is hot. And then I didn't grab a bowl. Let me grab a bowl real quick. Let's see if we got a pretty bowl in here.
There's not a pretty one. Just use regular one.
I'll just use a big bowl.
A big bowl. You poor thing.
How's our cheese and stuff doing?
There's a ladle behind you, too.
Okay. So the soup is done. Just as soon.
Behind you.
Oh, I gotta chop up my bacon.
Well, that's gonna be hot.
It sure is. Oh, that, and I should have probably separated that bacon a little better. Darn. Now I'm going to have giant chunks of bacon in my potato soup. Whatever shall I do? I did it on purpose, by the way. Okay. And as that cools off, it'll kind of harden up a little bit more too. You can mince it. I think you're supposed to mince it. I like my bacon a little chunkier, but I'll meet you in the middle on this one. That was a scallion, not good for the dog, so we throw that away. And this piece of bacon here just doesn't seem like it's right for the bowl, so.
Okay.
Bacon. All right, so let's get a ladle. And be very careful, because this is a metal ladle, and my wife is going to look at me with anger and disdain and say, do not scratch my nonstick. So I'll be gentle and stay on the top. And I'll put me some of that good soup. And I have not had dinner, so I'm going to go ahead and make myself a dinner-sized portion of this. Of course, I want to get some on the side of my bowl there.
Oh, you need more cheese.
I'm good. I'm good without the cheese. You can sprinkle cheese on there if you want. I'm going to sprinkle on just a little bit of bacon. She went back there to get her some cheese, so I'm going to get some more bacon. And then scallions will not only make it pretty, but also make it taste good too. So grab me a spoon. I'll show y'all how good that is. My wife's bringing back some cheese, probably for her.
Uh-huh.
But since you're here...
Do you want some?
Yeah, why don't you sprinkle some of that on top?
Here.
Here you go.
It's open.
Get just a little bit more cheese. The Look at that, how very mixed up, how pretty that is. And put some cheese right on top of that. And this really does taste like Thanksgiving in a bowl. It's like you got your mashed potatoes. Of course, you got the ham flavor, the bacon kind of gives it that meaty flavor. And of course, your creamy soup and that cheese.
I think the thyme makes it taste that way too. I was doing a cheese all the way down your beard.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think?
It's salted perfectly. The bacon. To me, the bacon makes it because it gives it that meatiness, it gives it some smokiness. The scallions taste delicious in it. And then by using your immersion blender and creaming up those potatoes, it gives that soup some body, so it's not so loose, so wet. Oh, hey, the soup's done. Alexa, stop. It gives it a body to it, you know, makes it a little thicker, creamier. It'd be great for a cold winter day. Fantastic. I'm going to continue to eat on that. I'm probably all of that.
If this is overwhelming for anyone from a potato soup standpoint, because those were lots of steps, this is probably the most complicated of all the potato soups on the website, but we have several other potato soups as well. Some are easier. So if you want to go all out, this is definitely one that it just takes a little time, but it's definitely yummy. But if you are intimidated by that many steps, there are also some really easy throw together ones.
But you just saw me put it together, and I did all the steps from both of the soups. It's really not that hard. It's 8 steps when you break it down, and it's totally worth it, because when you go and make and spend the time to make something like this, and then you eat it, and you take a big old spoonful of it. I did that one for just illustration purposes.
Oh yes, you know, you were laboring for your cause here.
You smile, because then you go, I made that. I put that in my beard. Well, I hope all y'all don't say that. Sorry, ladies. But we want to thank y'all for watching us make another edition of Cookin' Chris's Dishes here with the good old boy. If you like what you saw, down below, click subscribe and become a part of the Crock Posse. Also, give us a like here on this channel, on this video, as well as the rest of the videos on the channel. And feel free to leave a comment down below. Let us know what you put in your potato soup. And also, thank you. Thank you for being a part of our weekend. We truly love doing this. I love eating in front of you. It's a good pastime of mine.
Oh, and they need to check out yesterday's battle announcement so they can vote on the next battle.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
From now on, instead of just announcing it as good as it gets in the weekly chat, the day before we announce the battle winner, we're going to announce the next week's battle. So make sure you go back and check it out and see which of the dishes that we'll be cooking, and it'll be your choice. Thank y'all for watching, because if y'all keep watching, we'll keep cooking, and all will be well.